There's a spiritual body and there's a physical body. Right. When you're seeing apparitions, when you're seeing angels, when you're seeing visions meaning that my eyes are open, I'm not sleeping, it's different from a dream. Yes, spiritually, I'm having the opportunity to peer into the spiritual realm that we cannot do on a normal basis. So God answered the prayer of Elijah, and the Bible says that he opened the eyes of the young man and he saw. What did he see now? And behold, the mountains were full of horses and chariots of fire. These are all spiritual, round about Elijah. So you imagine the point, oh my God, now he's all calm now. Wow. Yeah, we really outnumber them. So the fear is gone. So let's backtrack just a little bit because I want to show you the purposes of how the spiritual realm work for and against us. So the enemy, his primary goal is to keep the victim ignorant. If the victim is ignorant of their resources, if the victim is ignorant of their power, if the victim is ignorant of who is really sponsoring their battles in order to aid them in their fight, then the truth is he got them. Now, how does he do that? Well, the number one agent is fear. The foot soldiers of the kingdom of darkness is fear, fear of the unknown. If I could get them to fear so much that they'll never take that road, because if they take that road, it would lead to a pot of gold. It would lead to their heart's desire. It would lead to their breakthrough. So I don't want them to go that way. So what do I do? What do I do without guns, without bullets, without swords, without knives, without threatening them? I instill fear in them. Right. You know, demons through there, right? Yeah. You know, and I hear people go through that, they die at an early age. You know that? So if I put that in you, then I discourage anything in you to go forward to through that particular alley. So this is what he do. He puts fear in you. And once fear is in you, now he begin to set up strongholds in your mind to ensure that you don't even think about going that way anymore. And a lot of us, I was once like that. I was once like that. If someone had told me 20, 15 years ago, you are going to be an international speaker, I would have laughed them to scorn. You got to be out of your mind. You don't know who I am. You would never say that because I was filled with fear, filled with the fear of the unknown. I felt like I wasn't suited to stand on nobody's podium or platform or whatever. None of that. But look at how I'm living the plan of God for my life once I would have broken the barriers and the limitations and shackles of fear. And that's something you guys need to be praying for. But let me be clear with you. That fear isn't you putting it there. These are the spiritual beings that you coexist with, demons to be more exact, that is instilling the stronghold in your mind. We can talk a lot about this when we go into part 3. These strongholds. Remember the Bible says, he said, the weapons of our warfare, the weapons of our warfare, they're not guns and knives and so on, but they are mighty through God. They're spiritual weapons to do what? What specifically do these weapons do? Break down strongholds. Strongholds is that I am overweight and I will never lose all this weight. So let me just continue to eat. I will never get that degree. So it makes no sense saving. A stronghold is a setup that the enemy has repeated in your mind that he don't need to be there anymore. You took it over from there and now you maintain it. So anybody come to you with any form of remedy, good news, whatever. No, I don't know. I don't think so. No. If you take this, this will make you better. No, no.